What's poppin', Webelos? As always, I'm your den leader, Sheldon. Welcome back to our second den meeting here in April. Let's go ahead and stand up for a Pledge Allegiance, Scout Oath, and Scout Law.
All right. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Please join me in the Scout sign and repeat the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
Hey Webelos, now in our second meeting here of April, we're gonna really focus on how to build fires and how to make water properly. It's a really important thing that we have to do in scouting, as those survival skills outside. How do we make a fire with so different materials, and how do we boil water properly or make water into drinkable water? There's lots of cool stuff, but we're also gonna see some really fun stuff about how to set up a camp. So make sure you look at that and maybe you find out something that you didn't know before. Let's head out, Webelos.
What's up, guys? Welcome to base camp. I hope you guys are ready. We're gonna check out some awesome tents today. Are you ready? Let's go! All right, this is our first tent right here. My friend Kevin's gonna tell us something about it.
Yeah, so right here we have our REI hiking tent. It's very good for hiking, not so much for camping. So let's take a look at it here. As you can see, the rain flies pretty low to the ground, so it's pretty good for cold weather or hiking, windy conditions. Inside you can fit, it says you can fit 2 people, but in reality, comfortably, you can only fit 1. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to set up with 2 people. You could set it up with 1 person. It'd probably take a little longer. It's pretty small inside. Once again, 1 person and gear comfortably.
Come on, get over here.
Yeah. Let's take a look inside there. So it's pretty small. I wouldn't suggest bringing this to a week-long camping trip or anything, but if you're doing a small weekend camping trip and you're by yourself or something like that, it'd be a good time for that. If I wouldn't probably bring it to Cub Camp. I'd bring a little bigger of a tent to Cub Camp because you're going to bring a weekend's worth of gear with you. So, good tent.
All right, thanks for that tour, man. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's go and check out our next tent.
Hello!
How's it going, Ben? Tell me about your tent.
So this is a Coleman instant screen house tent. Now normally I wouldn't maybe take this camping. I might use this in my backyard. And in reality, I probably wouldn't sleep in here either, so nobody really would sleep. But you could have a few people in here, maybe 4 to 6 people, kind of hang out and sit around in it. As far as setup goes, it's pretty easy. It's just a pop-up tent. You can get set up in about under a minute.
Wow, under a minute, that's so fast, Ben!
Yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoy it. I use it a lot in my backyard.
Awesome, thanks for the tour, Ben. Come on, let's go! All right, here's our next tent. It's pretty freaking huge. Is anybody in here? Hello? Yeah. Oh, hi, Sheldon. Sheldon, tell me about your tent.
Well, this is the Great Outdoors tent. It's one of my favorite ones. This is my second property or my second home that I like to come to and kind of hang out in. It's pretty big. Come on in, let's see it.
All right, get on in here. Come on.
So this is what I like to call my foyer or foyer. I can kind of hang out in here, have a chill time, play some cards. And over here is my bedroom, or my master bedroom as I always call it. Like, it's really nice. I can kind of hang out. That's my bed right there. It's all really nice in here. And over here I got my spare bedroom or my office if I'm away from work. This is my office where I can kind of hang out. And just in case I want an even bigger bedroom, I can unzip the middle and kind of hang out over here. This tent is pretty big. It can fit at least, I would say, about if I can sleep in my foyer as well, could probably fit about maybe 8 to 10 people. And so it's a really good, comfortable tent. You have lots of people, but definitely for this tent, if I'm hiking a lot, I don't want to take it, but if I'm going somewhere with my car, stopping and walking a little bit, I can definitely take this one with me.
Awesome, Sheldon. This looks awesome. Thanks for showing us around. Let's go. Get up. Come on, come on. All right, guys, we got our next tent right here. This is my friend Emerson. She's going to tell us about this tent.
Yeah, so we have got the official Voyager Boy Scout tent here. Nice, classic old tent. However, I would not recommend doing much voyaging with it. It is a little bit heavy to carry around, a little bit bulky, so you don't want to be taking it a whole lot of distance. It's a good tent for your backyard. It's a nice warm tent. We've got a heavy waterproof canvas here for you to sleep in. It's comfortably will sleep about 2 people, but you can get probably about 3 in there without too much kicking and screaming.
That's awesome. This tent is so cool. All right, let's go. Next one. Let's go. All right, now we got my friend Josh here. He's got this beautiful green tent. He's going to tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is a Coleman tent. I like it a lot. It's really easy to set up. It took me and another person about 5-10 minutes to set up. Not bad at all. I love to bring this tent camping. It's really nice, really light, and it can fit 3 people in there, but only 2 comfortably. Would you like to take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here.
It got stuck. All right, come on in.
Whoa!
Real nice tent. I love it because it has pockets like a nightstand. If you need to put your glasses in, feel free so you don't roll on them. If you need to put your watch in, that's available too. It has this nice tarp so you don't get all soaked if it rains. We put the rain fly up. Otherwise, if you want to take it off, you can look at the stars in the sky.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. This is an awesome tent. All right, come on. We got one more. All right, guys, let's come look at this one. Look right over here. This is a beautiful tent. This is my friend Maddie. He's going to show us his tent right here.
This tent is called the Eureka Tetragon. This tent can fit, it's supposed to be able to fit 6 people, but comfortably we knew about 2 to 4. It can get a little bit squishy in there with 6 people. It's pretty easy to set up. We got about 2 people, and it takes about 5 minutes it took us to set up. Yeah.
Can we come take a look inside? Get in here, Drew.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, quite the beautiful tent. Lots of space in here. Super nice. All right, thanks for showing us around, Maddie. Let's go. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at our tents in the first part of our campsite. It's pretty awesome. But next, we're going to work on starting a fire. We're going to purify some water. So follow me. Let's look at the rest of the campsite.
All right, Scouts, so when we don't have a tent, we can build what's called a lean-to structure. You can build your lean-to structure out of pine, maple, or oak wood. So what you do is you start with a large beam across the top, and then you start adding larger sticks like this across the side, and then layer on the top some thinner pieces branching out like this. You can also see evidence of bugs when you look up close into your branches. Let's look. So here we have some evidence of bugs. You can see the trails that they've left inside the wood. There's also a few bore holes, which is the insects going deep inside the wood. All right, so I'm not going to be finishing this lean-to shelter, but if I was, I would layer even more sticks on top of this so there was no gaps left. And then, to protect myself from the sun and other weathering elements, I'm gonna take a bunch of leaves and layer them on the top. So by the time I get inside, I'll be nice and protected, and then I can have a good place to sleep for the night.
So then, when we're trying to find a place to set up our tent, what should we look for?
So if you look behind us, we have a bunch of different tents set up. And one of the few things that we thought about was, first off, we want to make sure the ground is flat. We don't want to be on like a hill or at a weird angle, because when we try to sleep, we want to make sure we can also lie flat. The second thing, we want to make sure that we're on dry ground. We don't want to end up getting our tent or our sleeping bag wet, because then that can pose other things. We also want to make sure that the ground is durable and hard and not really soft and spongy, because that can also damage the ground, and we want to make sure we try to leave no trace as best we can. And then finally, we want to make sure we're not near like a cliff, because we don't want to anywhere where we can maybe fall off of something. So making sure flat areas, not in like a valley where water could collect if it were to rain. And then finally, maybe put a tarp underneath our tent. That's also going to help keep us dry and protect our tent from any damage from rain.
Thank you.
All right, well, so today we're going to learn a couple knots that could be useful when we're out camping, and maybe even could be useful when we're helping set up our tent. So this first one is called our overhand knot. And this is a really easy knot. You may already know how to do it. You're going to make a loop, and you're going to take that end, pass it through that loop, and there you go. That's our overhand knot. All right, well, so our second knot we're going to learn is our square knot. So I've got two separate ropes. This knot can be useful when you need to join a couple ropes together. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the one in my right hand and put it over the left and then twist it around. And now the next part, I'm going to take that same one that's now in my left hand and pass it over that one in my right hand again, pull it through, and now I got my nifty square knot.
Hey Sheldon, how's it going?
Hold on, whoa. Anders, this is an axe yard. I know not a lot of our scouts have seen one before, but I know you definitely have. So, as we get older into scouts, we get to do cool things like this, an axe yard. So if you notice, my axe yard is roped off, so only one person can be allowed in at a time. What we use axe yards for is to cut bigger pieces of wood, so that way we can have awesome fires. So before you ever enter an axe yard, Anders, you gotta ask permission first.
Sheldon, may I come in the axe yard?
Yeah, why don't I come out and you can come in and you can cut a log for us.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Sheldon.
So scouts, a really important thing to know about an axe yard is that you set it up before you even start thinking about chopping wood. So we already set this one up, so it's good to go. No one's really around it, so everyone is safe at all times.
I did it.
As Anders is cutting up the wood, we're just getting smaller pieces for our fire because we have a little small fire pit. But typically, we want to make sure whatever wood we're chopping fits inside of this. So I'm not going to bring a big branch inside of here. I'm just going to simply put wood that fits inside this yard. Hey Webelos, so a lot of the time on many of the adventures we go on, we obviously have to build a fire. But a really important thing to know is, what are different ways we can build a fire, and what are different ways we can light a fire? So I've got a couple things here that are really important. One, I have lots of dry wood. Everyone start a fire, we want dry wood. So I prepped this and I got some dry wood with me. I've already kind of set up one. This is called a log cabin. If you notice, there's 2 sticks at the bottom and 2 sticks go side to side, side to side, side to side. It keeps going all the way up. I just have a small one though. On the bottom over here, I would have what's called tinder. This tinder is really small, thin sticks that I can use to light it really well, okay? I also have this other really awesome stuff right here, like some twine. Now this isn't twine that's made from plastic, this is twine that's made from actual rope. So what's really cool about this is you can pull it apart and make thinner strands that will light easier. So you can grab your twine and pull it apart, giving you this nice good bushel. And one of my favorite things I like to use to start any fire are pine cones. We can get pine cones almost anywhere. Again, making sure they're nice and dry. So I take these out when I'm gonna go for my hikes. I put some in my backpack and I can bring them home with me. I can put this twine simply around my pine cones and I can put it in the center of my fire so that way it starts a little bit easier. Pine cones burn for a little bit longer than normal, so they're really good sources of heat and flame. Now that I have all of my fires set up and ready to go, I can use a couple different things to start my fire. For instance, I could use a match from a matchbook, or I could use something like flint and steel. This is a really cool thing that I have. It's a whistle, it's a pen, it's a compass, it's a glass breaker, but also inside of it, it has some flint and some steel. There's also a bottle opener. Flint and steel is really good to use. Whenever you want to use it, you want to get down close to where you want to demonstrate it. So I'm just going to do a little demonstration, but normally if I want to put it in my fire, I'm going to have to get really close. So usually you can't have anything on top. So I put my flint down, I grab my steel, which is my knife here. And you already notice it's already kind of scratched up right here. I'm gonna go ahead and push down really fast and see if I can't get any sparks. So I'm pushing down and forward. What's also really cool is if you ever want to get a bigger spark, you just shave it down a little bit, but you're not pressing too hard. And then you press really hard and you'll get lots of sparks because it all comes down at the bottom. So you keep doing that until whatever you're trying to light, lights. And then once you're done with that, you simply just put all your tools away. And of course, if you're really happy that your fire started, you can give it a little whistle. All right? The next point we can use is something really simple, like a lighter. This is one of my lighters that I have. Now, this is not a gas lighter like normal lighters like this. This is a butane lighter, which means it's going to hold a lot of its fuel inside of it and not let it evaporate into the air. So you simply just put it close to your fire and press down this button and 2 jets of flame will come up.
Alright Scouts, so I've got a bucket of water here I got down from the lake, and we want to be able to drink it, but right now it's not safe. So we're going to learn a way that we can make water safe to drink just by boiling it. So I'm going to stick it straight onto the fire, and now we're going to leave it onto the fire until the water starts to boil, and the boiling is going to cause all the bacteria that's bad in there to go away. It's going to kill it. Then it'll be safe for us to drink. Alright Scouts, so thanks to Sheldon, we got a real nice hot fire going and our water boiled in only a few minutes. So we're going to take it off the fire now, put it over somewhere so it can cool and it's ready to drink.
Alright Scouts, let's check to see if our water is cooled off yet. I always use the back of my hand to see if something's hot. Alright, it's definitely cold. Let's see if Annie boiled us some quality H2O. Yeah, some clean quality H2O. Thank you, Annie. Well, Scouts, thank you for coming out here and joining us today. And a special thank you to our base camp staff who are here with us and help us set up our tents, help us set up our fire. So many fun things we got to see today. From learning different kinds of tents to how to set them up properly, all the way to how to boil water so we can make sure it's safe to drink, to starting fires, to even see an axe yard. You can do all of this in Scouts as long as you stick with it and keep going. Don't stop. There's so many fun things you can do in Scouts, so stick with it and you can do all these fun and amazing activities. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Hey Webelos, thanks for joining me at the end here. It was a lot of fun with us. We got to learn how to build those awesome tents, where to set them up. So if you didn't learn how to build any of those tents, hopefully you learned today so that way you can build them next time you go out camping. Also, we've really focused on how we can make sure water is safe to drink and how we can build those fires to make that water safe to drink. So make sure you can use this next time on a little trick of making your water taste even better and safer, but make sure you have an adult around and a buddy. Alright guys, thanks for joining me today. Make sure you check in next time when we talk about water safety and what is that pesky thing called a PFD. Make sure you join us next time, Webelos. I'll see you everyone later. Bye!